Hey there, welcome to Learn Guitar with Drew. Today we're going to play one scale shape over both a major and a minor chord progression. It's a really handy tool. Let's take a look. Alright, so in the lesson we're going to use the same scale shape to play over both a major and a minor chord, and ultimately over a major and a minor chord progression, using the same simple pentatonic scale shape that you probably already know. So if I start here on the 2nd fret and play this, that's the first position of something called F sharp minor. This note is an F sharp on the 2nd fret of low E. Now if you don't know that yet, take a look in the channel right here for a lesson on how to play the first position of a minor pentatonic scale. That will be helpful for you to jump into this lesson. So this is a minor sound. This minor chord sounds like that. You can hear it sounds sad, right? Now if I do the same exact thing, but I start on my pinky instead, I get a happy sound. It's this G form like this. So you can hear one is sad, one is happy. Well, that's really helpful. So if you have a minor chord, let's say this F sharp minor chord here, I can play the scale starting on the same fret on the low E string. But if I have a major chord, let's say this A chord in an E form up here, if I play the same scale, but I start with my pinky instead, I get this. So that's so helpful. Basically, the major pentatonic scale is going to start with your pinky, and the minor pentatonic scale is going to start with your first finger. So if it was an A major chord here, I would start with my pinky on that same note. It'll sound like My Girl. But if it's an A minor chord, I'm going to start with my first finger on that A note to make a minor chord. So whatever key your song is in that you're playing with, let's say your friends are playing, they're jamming along, and you notice that they're playing a song that circles around a D chord a lot, right? They're playing this a lot. Okay, so if I find the D on the low E string, which is the 10th fret of low E, I'm going to start with my little finger to make the happy sound. There it is. Let's say your friends were jamming and they were playing a D minor chord instead. I can find that D note on the low E string again, which is the 10th fret of low E. This time I'm going to use my first finger for the first note because it's going to be a minor sound over this D minor chord. Now, if you don't know the notes on the fretboard yet, here's a lesson here on the channel to start to learn how to find these notes, not only on the low E string, but across the entire guitar neck as well. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say your friend was playing and you notice they're playing a C chord a lot. You're like, I want to play over top of that chord. How am I going to do that? Well, the formula is, I'm going to put my little finger on the C note, which is the 8th fret of low E, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. The major sound is the little finger on that note, and try the My Girl. There you go. But if they were playing a C minor chord instead, okay. So I'm going to start on the same note on the low E string. This time I'm going to use my first finger instead because the formula says it's the first finger for the minor sound. So you can play over just about any really simple song this way. So here's a progression for you. This is a major sound, and it's an A major, which is where we started from. So the formula says I'm going to put my little finger on the A note, which is the 5th fret of low E right here, and I'm going to play My Girl. Now if I wanted to solo a little bit, I'll play something very simple. I could go. I'm not even moving out of that position, right? I'm literally staying in that same spot, but what I'm playing is working. The chords were A, E, and A and D. Kind of just back and forth between What is the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord in the key of A? If you don't know how a key of music works, there's a lesson on the channel right here to show you how the chords work in the key of music. And that will be helpful too, because it kind of ties into what we're doing. Now, if I play a minor progression instead, right, I'm on the 2nd fret of low E, doing the same position we started from. This is an F sharp note right here, okay? Now, it's going to be a minor sound, but it's going to be the same scale. Check it out. But it works over the progression because the progression is a minor progression. So you keep it really simple and play in the same little position here. Nothing fancy whatsoever. So if you've never played a solo before, you can definitely do that, right? So it's A major, okay. 5th fret of low E is an A note. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. If you're enjoying today's lesson, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. And in the comment section down below, you'll find links for my websites and other guitar resources. I'm going to do the happy sounding one, so that's going to start with my little finger on that note right here. And here's the progression. I'll walk up and down the scale. Totally fits. Play a little riff, something very simple. Okay, good. So now I'm playing happy. Now I see a minor chord instead. Okay, starting on this note right here. What note is that? E, F. It's F sharp. Okay. So the formula says to use my 1st finger instead. Okay, play a little riff. So the same thing is working on both of those chords. So that's incredible. What a tool to have, right? So let's do one more. Let's say your friend plays an E chord. You're playing an E chord. You notice that's the kind of the chord that the song's focused on. Okay. Well, the 12th fret of low E is an E, as you know. It's where the double dots are. So for the happy sound, I'll put my little finger on the E note. There's my E major chord. For minor, okay, I'll put my 1st finger on the 12th fret and do this instead. And now I can solo on the E minor chord. It's really cool. so there we go. We can play over both major and minor chords with one scale shape, and or major and minor chord progressions. It's a very handy tool to have. If you go to jam sessions or you sit down to play with your friends, you can kind of navigate around the guitar neck and figure out where you're supposed to be, and you can solo over top of their chords. All right, see you at the next lesson.